watching East Tennessee's first and only year-round sports talk show on television. This is The Sports Source with your host, John Pennington.
Good Sunday morning and welcome into The Sports Source. Lots to talk about today. Tons of Tennessee football and basketball. How much will Nike help with recruiting? And if you haven't seen it, several leaks now showing what Nike is doing with Tennessee's word mark, so to speak, their font. We'll show you all that and more. Let's get right into it. First segment of our show brought to you by Phil Cobble, Fine Homes and Land. Whether you are looking to buy or sell, go with the team that's moved more than $300 million in properties. Take a look at this beautiful home right here on Grigsby Chapel Road. More than 3,500 square feet in Farragut. That place is beautiful. Also, I want to remind you that this coming Saturday, check out Phil Cobble's tent at the Big Kahuna Wing Festival at World's Fair Park. Chuck and I will be down there as well, defending champions from last year. In terms of best wings, Phil Cobble, he's got a good recipe. It beat half the restaurants in town. So you want to check that out next week. All right, let me show you what's coming up on today's show. As I mentioned, Nike leaks. We'll jump right into that. Is Nike a real recruiting help, or uniforms a real recruiting help? We'll talk about some football hot topics. We'll look by the numbers at Tennessee's returning letterman, by the numbers at Tennessee's career starts along the O-line. Those numbers may surprise you. Hot topics basketball. We'll go around the NCAA, and then a little who'da thunk it, a story that I don't think anyone in 1985 would have believed regarding Tennessee. All right, let me reintroduce the panel. Right here we have Bob Hodge, freelance contributor to the Knoxville News Sentinel. Mark Pankrat's back with us, our basketball analyst, former staff member under Conzo Martin and Bruce Pearl. Josh Ward from Sports Radio WNML. Josh, of course, on from noon to 3, Monday through Friday. Good to have him here. Right there, Chuck Cavaleris from Southern Golf Central Magazine and .com. So, Chuck, yes, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
I want to start with some quick looks at some Nike designs. We are jam-packed today. We may have to start cutting things. So I'm going to run through some videos here, but there are or some graphics. The Nike designs are starting to leak out. Let's go ahead and show you what this is inside the complex over there. You see a lot of gray, checkerboard pattern in the gray. You got the orange swoosh now, but interesting. You have the state of Tennessee circle with the 3 stars. You wonder if that's an element on the wall there. You got to figure that Nike's going to use that as an element, either in uniform design or just in promotion of the school. That should come up somewhere, you would think. All right. The scavenger hunt that UT's been doing, that's still going on. Someone tweeted there what they found. Once again, that team 1 of 119, meaning team 119. As you can see in the New Jersey, there's a piece of it. It will be orange. So that's positive. I think that should relieve a lot of people. All right, here's something else that Nike's doing. This sign was poked out there, My All. And for those that don't know, of course, that's taken from the sign that Vol players touch just before going to the field. I will give my all for Tennessee today. That has been popping up on campus, the state of Tennessee outline in the words my all with the swoosh. And then the biggie, the new word mark. All right, you can see on the right that it's already on the Pratt Pavilion floor, on the practice facility floor. And there on the left is the new word mark. As you can see, the state of Tennessee, the shape of the state of Tennessee is worked into several of the numbers, and several of the letters, I should say. That's what you're going to be seeing now for Tennessee. And the letters don't match. Some people don't mind that. I'm kind of a OCD about these kind of things. It bothers me that the numbers don't match. Look at this, all right? See the little red line there? The 2 ends aren't the same. One has a notch because the E runs into it. The other one's just straight up and down because it doesn't have another letter running into it. You look at the yellow lines, there are 4 E's in Tennessee. The 3 on the outside match. The one on the inside doesn't because it doesn't have a notched letter to its left. The green, you've got the S's. Again, they match whatever's beside them. One S is just blocked next to the E. The other S is curved like the state of Tennessee. And then for some reason, this is an illogical design, and they blow the logic of an illogical design. The blue points out that if everything is based on whatever's next to it, that second S should be straight up and down rather than notched. Look, that looks bizarre to me. The only thing I've ever seen that would compare to this is the Minnesota Vikings. Bob, don't take offense. You see there, Nike, again, Nike did this. The bottom, the top row of numbers there is what number goes on the right side of the jersey. The bottom goes on the left side. So you see there, on the same team, on the same field, Adrian Peterson with a wonky number 2 and a normal number 8. His teammate, I think that's Kyle Rudolph, a wonky 8 and a normal 2. I just think that's crazy. I don't get the design of that. Guys, your thoughts on the word mark? There's been debate online about it. Some people love it because it's Nike and it's new. Some people hate it because, well, it looks silly. Your thoughts?
First thought is, boy, it'll be nice to have that number 28 back in Minnesota. Thoughts after that are, I don't understand it, I don't like it, and yes, I'm an old guy. And so maybe young guys like it, but when you talked about this yesterday afternoon, I was with some young guys, and they said that looks like it's silly. Mm-hmm. You know, I know that's a 17-year-old kid saying it looks silly. I don't.
Well, that would be the target audience.
I don't understand it, but I'll people will get used to it eventually. But I don't like it.
I like Nike as a whole. Obviously, there's some holes in that branding piece that they're trying to put together. I do like the stars. I like the 3. I think that pops at you. It'll be interesting to see where they use it. But I'm a big fan of the transition to Nike because I think it'll affect the 17-year-olds. But there are some pieces that they need to improve on in building Tennessee's brand.
Okay, and I want to ask you in the next segment just how much it helps basketball recruiting to have Nike on board or to be on board with Nike. Josh Ward, young Josh Ward, happy birthday. Oh, well, no, you're not young anymore.
Old,
You turned 30 yesterday.
Yeah, that changed.
You're not young, sorry. They're going to tweet that you're an old man.
Youth is no longer a part of my existence.
That's right. Your thoughts on what you saw? You like it?
I think people initially look at it and they see a stress on the state of Tennessee and they like it, and then they just saw your breakdown and they realize, hey, there's more to it and they're not going to like it quite as much. I think an emphasis overall on what we just looked at with the 3 stars and the My All. I think Tennessee fans will like that. Mm-hmm. Again, a stress on the state of Tennessee. Some clunkiness, though, with the lettering, I think will cause some frustration.
Yeah, I mean, are they going too far trying to make it look like the state of Tennessee or trying to make it flow like that? And Wade, John, I think maybe you can overthink some of this, that it's all, on the whole, it's really good and positive. But in the state of, we all agree, hey, that looks kind of weird there.
Well, let's pop it back up so people can see it as you finish your.
Yeah, so I mean, I think overall, we all like it, but is it really stressing out the words of Tennessee to make it look like the state? Is that what they're trying to do?
There it is, and I wonder, okay. I was going to go back to I'm sorry, Cruz, if you can get back to the other one, it doesn't have my breakdown. There we go. You could have done the same thing by just shifting, you can italicize everything and just put the whole word in the shape of Tennessee. If you italicized it, you don't have to do it. I just don't understand. There are graphic designers in this town. Heck, there are probably people watching the show. As a matter of fact, anybody watching today's show who thinks they could come up with a better word mark that makes sense, email it to me, john@mrsec.com. Email it to me. We may show it on the air. But I guarantee you, there are people out there who could design something that actually made sense. I don't get this E looks like this E looks like that. To me, that just looks like it's designed by a 3rd grader.
Well, and that's the thing, too. You don't know if Nike is actually giving that to them for their camps or if it's somebody within their department, some graduate assistant who's actually put that together for them.
Well, here's the thing. Well, it's already painted.
Pay Nike?
It's painted on the floor of the practice facility.
Well, maybe the graduate assistant snuck in.
And John, Nike may be saying, kind of like what you're saying, that's too easy. The way you're talking about doing it, maybe that makes too much sense. So we want to do something a little bit.
Well, but see,
that's my problem with Nike.
I'm going to go with what Chuck said originally. I think it is overthinking. We've got to change it. We've got to make it look different. And so when you start having to change for the sake of change, that's when you end up with 4 different kind of letters in one word.
And I could live with that. I mean, here's the thing. I'm not going to lose any sleep over it, but I could live with that style of font if the letters matched. If you could make it to where the letters match, okay. But I'm just thrown by the fact there aren't, again, the Minnesota Vikings are the only other thing I can think of, also Nike, that the letters or the numerals don't match. That's just bizarre to me. But anyway, we'll see how many fans run out and buy that stuff as soon as it hits the shelf. My guess is a bunch. When we come back, do uniforms really matter in recruiting? ESPN did a survey. You might find the results interesting. Also, as I said, I want to talk to Mark Pankratz about the Nike impact in basketball. Come on back on the Sports Source.
Quality, quick. Trust Fast Frame.